I am Miriah Wagner. I'm the Addictions Program Specialist. We treat our young ladies, because they are young, they're between the ages of 14 and 18, so they're at a different developmental place in their life. The way that we approach it is from a very neuroplastic place, meaning their minds haven't really got those deep grooves of habit. We have this approach that, you can change. You can have a life free of addiction. And so a lot of the girls that we deal with aren't necessarily even what would be considered chemically dependent, but they're quickly becoming that if they hadn't had treatment. We've noticed that with a lot of our girls, a lot of their addictions started around the time that they experienced trauma. So we collaborate on those and treat their trauma and their addiction at the same time. So some girls in my program, relatively speaking, maybe it was only over a 2-month period of time, but the way that they were using was really concerning. They were self-medicating for pain and trying to numb out and avoid reality. And so that's really concerning, because that kind of substance use is at incredibly high risk to addiction rapidly and needs immediate intervention. And I see that a lot, and I deal with it a lot, helping them deal with their shame, finding some compassion and resilience towards themselves around their shame, and being able to talk about it and not feel like it's this huge burden they have to keep inside until it explodes. The most common question I get from parents, or concern that I get from parents, is probably around how do they hold the boundary. And I think that sometimes it can be really scary when a parent is worried about their child's safety to hold a boundary. A lot of times there's this parental urge to rescue, to save them, and a lot of times that actually prolongs the scenario. It might soothe the crisis in that moment, but over the long term, it makes things worse. I just help parents see for themselves, what are your healthy boundaries? What do you want to feel safe in your own family, and to find a way to get your own needs met in the relationship? I did have a student who came in who struggled with addictive quality behaviors. Part of her work was just asking for help. She didn't know how to do that, and that's when she got in trouble. She really got the clear message that I have to ask for help, and if or maybe I have to do that. And so worked with her family, and they really made it clear how much they trusted each other, and they needed to trust each other, and were able to communicate that to one another. And so she really knows now, moving forward for the rest of her life, that her support system is number one in her life, and that includes her family and her friends and everyone.